Hey, welcome back to our virtual tour of Israel. We're in Beit She'an today. The part you can see is an ancient Roman city. I'm standing in the theater, but you can see behind me the main street, the Cardo. It's the word we get cardiology from. It's the heart of the city. It's actually the shopping district. Along that main street, there would have been stalls where people would have sold all sorts of wares and goods and food and things. It's an ancient shopping mall. Malls are not a new idea. That's the Amazon of the Roman world. You can also see further down behind me a hill. That's a man-made hill. We call it a tell. In antiquity, the water source is what often would determine the location of a city, strategic importance and a water source. Well, we are on the eastern end of the Jezreel Valley. It's the busiest battlefield in human history. And so putting a city here to guard that eastern entrance to that valley was of great strategic importance. So significant, in fact, that that hill behind me has more than 20 layers. They've lowered it 17 feet. That top layer is from the time of King Saul. That's the first king of Israel. King Saul and his son Jonathan were killed on the slopes of Mount Gilboa, which is very close by, and they took the body of King Saul and attached it to the wall of Beit She'an. That's the Beit She'an on top of that hill behind me. This city's been here a long, long time. The reason this one is so well preserved is there was an earthquake that toppled the city, destroyed the city in its entirety. It wasn't burned, it wasn't plundered by an invading army. And then it was buried through the mud and the rain and all of the stuff so it wasn't carried away. They didn't use the columns from the city to decorate homes and other things in the region. So we really found, buried beneath the mud, almost a fully intact first century city. It's a pretty remarkable place to visit, complete with bathhouses, theaters, main streets. They even found one of the homes where they found the skeleton of a man where a column in the home had fallen on him, and he had in his hand a bag of gold. He'd gone back into his house when the earthquake started to grab his savings, and the house collapsed on him. He made a bad choice, and then it was commemorated, memorialized by the stones that crushed him, so that we found his story 2,000 years later. Our choices do matter, I guess. It is hot in Beit She'an today. It's over 100 degrees, so if I look like I'm melting, it's just the beginning. I'll step back into the shade. I hope you've been able to join us for our virtual tour of Israel. If you've missed some of the other sessions, you can look at my YouTube channel and find them. It's an amazing place. It brings a credibility to the Bible and the stories you know from the Bible. It moves them from a Disney fantasy into a connection with some real places. In fact, if you've got a map or you can Google Israel, you can pull up the sites we've been talking about. We've been in Caesarea. We have been on the Mount of Beatitudes on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. Today we're at Beit She'an. Tomorrow we'll be at the Dead Sea. Then you'll see us in Jerusalem. You can Google those locations and kind of track us around the country on your map. It's a great opportunity to visit the land of Israel without the hassle of a jet ride or eating strange food. God is still at work in the earth. It wasn't just a first century initiative. What was launched in the land of Israel so long ago is still in play in the earth. Our God's alive. His arm's not too short to deliver. His strength is not too small. Whatever your need is, whatever you're lifting before him, our God is able. It's a privilege to join you on this tour through the land of Israel. I hope it's been a blessing to you, and I'll see you again soon.